I feel like I should do a clap. Ready? Break. I hope that was loud enough. Okay. Episode 4. Welcome.
Welcome.
As usual, I didn't fill out my sheet. And I'll be honest, like 30 seconds before this went on, I was like, oh, I need books. And I ran and I grabbed them. But they are things I've been wanting to read.
Okay, cool.
But I'm a little bit... Go for it.
I've got 4 that I'm interested in and 1 that I just bought that I can't decide if I'm interested in it or if it's just the cover is so bizarre.
All right.
Because the library book sale was an interesting time.
I love a library sale. I love a library sale too much, which segues into my thought where I was going to tell you that I have 284 books that I have purchased and never read. Granted, some of them are Tories.
I think we counted, or half-ass counted when we moved. I do believe we're over 1,000.
I think that's officially library size.
Yeah.
Our vote library.
I think we talked about this. But yeah, and like some of them are, like the vast majority of them are novels and things that we both want to read and all that. But then some are textbooks for either classes that we took or classes that we taught or both.
Hello.
Hi, kitty. How are you doing, baby?
I gotta rearrange him. He only fits a certain way up here.
Goose cat.
Yep. Okay.
So can we talk about book covers again for a second?
Absolutely.
And just how like, okay, so marketing wise, this is fucking weird.
Whoa.
But I'm curious because it's sci-fi.
Can't look away.
I know, right? And part of that is because he's got like no clothes on, but
yeah,
there's a lot going on there, even though there's not a lot going on. So that's one of the ones that I picked up. I got the 3rd book in the Wheel of Time for $1. I got one on container gardening just because, that's kind of my life now.
Stop it.
It has a fucking quilt in it that is all mythical creatures, which I feel like it can show without giving the pattern away because it's a picture of it. If I can find it. It also has got this cross stitch that I want to do. That's the alphabet.
Love it.
It's going to take forever. It'll probably take less time than the Star Wars one I'm working on though. And then there's the quilt.
Oh,
isn't it so pretty?
So cute.
And then this is the last one.
I feel like that's familiar.
I don't know how, because I have never heard of it.
I feel like it was a Grant thing.
Maybe, but I don't know. It's sci-fi. It's written by a woman, and it's from, based on the cover, I'm going to go with 80s, maybe 90s. 95. So we'll see if it's aged well or not if I ever get around to it. But that's one of the 5 that you get to choose from this week.
Okay. I dig it. Are we going through that before we get into our reading discussion?
We can do that. And since I've already shown you 1, do you want me to do the other 4 real quick? Rapid fire? Okay, so Initiation is about like a remnant population of humans who are on another planet and they've started to mutate, and the ones who have the mutation are called Zerkers or Berserkers because they kind of go nuts, and they actually are the ones who are in charge rather than people who are calm and serious. So I'm curious. Also, the cover is insane. Firekeeper's Daughter is back on the list because I really want to read it. Never Let Me Go, also back on the list because I really want to read it. The one that I have chosen to recommend to you, I want to read. So it's this one called Kiss, Marry, Kill. And it's an alternate reality, but based on the game Kiss, Marry, Kill.
That sounds pretty cool.
Right? And then the last one is called Space Opera. And I have been wanting to read this for a while, and I'm just going to read you the description. So it's in the far future, and the different parts of humanity have been at war with each other for, fucking forever. And it says, once every cycle, the great galactic civilizations gather for the metagalactic Grand Prix. Part gladiatorial contest, part beauty pageant, part concert extravaganza, and part, a very large but subtle part, continuation of the wars of the past. So think Eurovision in space.
Yeah, okay.
Is kind of the vibes I'm getting from it.
I'm loving the disco ball planet too.
Right? Isn't it? It's just so much fun.
You had me at disco ball planet.
The cover is so much fun. And then the interior, nice and just basic black and purple, but dude, don't let me tell you how long I bought it new. It has been on my shelf since 2018.
Wow. Sometimes I wish we weren't committed to Tori hating the sleeves on books. But like immediately it comes in the house and the sleeve goes off because I'm like, sometimes though the artwork on the sleeve just like
do you get rid of them?
Yeah, does not keep them at all.
Oh,
or it was just one of those things that was like, I'm not gonna fight this.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I would probably take ones that I thought were really cool and frame them and put them as like pictures on the wall.
I still have like a drawer full of art from Comic-Cons. I'll get to it.
I'm the same way with cross stitch that I need to frame.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, someday. I'm almost done with the cat one.
I can't wait for that one.
Me either. Then I have to paint the freaking bathroom before I can hang it up because. Anyway.
I'm too excited. I'm going to pick yours right now. I'm not going to wait.
Okay.
It's the Disco Ball Planet.
Yeah, man. I was hoping.
Yeah, I want that. I'm
so excited. And, yeah, that's going to be. I've read another book by her, the girl who circumnavigated the world in a ship of her own making. No, the girl who circumnavigated Fairyland in the ship of her own making.
Is the whole cover the title?
That's the whole title. That's the whole title. And that's the first book in, I think it's a trilogy. And her writing style is a lot of fun too. So it'll be a good time.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it'll make up for the shit show that was this week.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to this week.
Yeah.
I have opinions.
Damn.
I genuinely just grabbed things that I thought I would enjoy because I need a week like that. So some of them are repeats. Dungeon Crawler Carl is really hard.
I like that cover. That's so much better than the one for the Kindle.
Yeah. It's all over the
one for the Kindle looks like a video game cover from the 90s and I approve. But
that's true.
That's pretty.
This one got me. I'm like, I know everyone's like, a lot of people are talking about it, whatever, but I genuinely think the whole talking cat thing would be a good time.
Yeah.
This one, you don't know what it is because we don't keep covers. It's Upright Women Wanted.
Yay! There's a sequel to that now.
Oh, is there? Oh gosh,
called
keeps doing that to me.
Downright Scoundrels Needed, I think is what it's called.
You think you have closure. And they're like, no.
I know.
Just kidding.
I know.
This one, the sleeve is gone. I cannot remember what it's about. But I remember being like, oh my God, that's amazing. And I immediately put it in the cart that Tori was carrying. This was like a month ago. So it's The Secret Market of the Dead. Giovanni DeVao. Oh no, I'm not going to try that one. I've already butchered it. DE space FEO. Help.
Yeah, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that either.
Dang it. Okay. It's fine. And then this one, my local bookstore was really pushing it, and they made a whole little display with tea and other stuff. And I was like, well, you've put the effort in. I must buy. And it says you can't spell treason without tea.
I want to read that one too at some point.
What a cover.
Just because
right?
It looks cozy.
And then this next one, I will admit, it is on here because I watched the movie recently, and the twists I just fucking loved. And I knew that it would be a little bit more expansive in the book. And so like I wanted to actually know more about the science, if it covers that and whatnot. And it's Project Hail Mary.
Okay.
So I've made your life difficult.
You have, but I'm automatically going to say no to you can't spell treason without T, because I think that's going to be a fall book. I think you're going to run into the same issue you're having with Darker Shade of Magic.
We should pick a week when we're both reading the same thing.
That would be great. Cool. Okay. Secret Market of the Dead is an Italian-inspired Gothic historical fantasy about a young woman who finds her power in the nocturnal realm that lurks beneath her town. That one sounds really interesting.
It does.
No, it's like part of me says Project Hail Mary, but I don't want you to spoil it for me.
Yeah, and I did just watch it.
Yeah, so maybe getting some distance from that one would be good too.
Removed.
What were the other two?
We got Dungeon Crawler Carl and Upright Women Wanted.
Upright Women Wanted. Because I've read it and it's fantastic and I want to talk to you about it.
Okay, great.
So for completely selfish reasons.
Great. And then my recommendation to you, because I think I'm going to pick it up again if I get through this book in time, is The Assistant to the Villain. It's turned into a trilogy, I think, but like I genuinely, I put it down. It was a DNF, but it was so enjoyable the first like 8 chapters that I genuinely want to see where it goes.
Cool. That one's on Kindle Unlimited too. So a cozy fantasy romantic comedy from a TikTok sensation.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I read it, it didn't feel like a TikTok book. Because, some of those, like, they feel like TikTok books.
Yes, they do.
And I'm not trying to... Yeah, I'm not trying to bash the TikTok book community, but, like... I was talking with Tori about this. You know how, like, you can kind of tell when someone learned to write by writing fan fiction versus someone who, like, learned to write by, like, studying? Like,
yeah, I've read Twilight.
Both applicable. But there's, like, a vibe on one versus the other. And I think the TikTok books almost tend to form over here because it's like they get into a cadence of, like, the type that's popular, and then suddenly there's 30 of the same book. And it's hard to find something that's got that unique hook to it. For me, personally.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And it's like I don't think that one type of book is better than another or anything like that. I mean, okay, there are some exceptions there because I've read some books that are just complete trash. But it wasn't because of where the author came from or anything like that. It was just like some of them, it was a failure in editing. Some of them, it was a failure in the person's ability to get their point across. The characters were interesting. The world building was great, but there was no plot. And there's a difference between being cozy and having no plot.
Yep.
How was your reading week?
Okay.
You read you read the book, right? That one.
One, I finished this. The whole dang thing. I read it. That's 2 books now. 2.
Woohoo!
But I flip-flopped so hard all the way through this book. I was pissed off and I was like, oh yeah, go. And then I was mad again and I was like, why are we still doing this? And I was like, when does the plot move? And then the plot moved and you're like, oh my God, cool. And like, I was just like, I felt like this was gonna be like a cool magical book, right?
Huh.
And like reading back on it delivered what it promised. And maybe it was just like a misconception on my part or like expectation. But it felt like it was 90% relationship focused between the 3 characters, which sounds odd to be annoyed about. And then like 10% of like the plot itself. And like I wanted more of that because the relationship was cool and I loved what they were getting into. And like honestly, you could have just added like 100 pages if you needed to add 100 pages and not take away from the relationship part. But I'm like, it was so cool what you did describe with like, because everybody has like their own type of magic. And then there's some people who are like chaos people because they blend and they do whatever and they're kind of not allowed in these cliques over here and whatever. But that didn't show up until like, I don't know, chapter 28 or something out of 33 or
Jeez.
Yeah, and so it's just like there was cool unveilings, like there were enough revelations to keep you going, but I almost DNF'd it. I almost did because I was just like, one, I felt like they were incredibly unfair to one guy. And I was just like, I was Team David all the time, like the whole way through. And I don't know if that was intentional or not. She just fell up the stairs.
Hair is getting so thick.
And we just had the guy thin it out too. But yeah, like, I was like yelling at Tori about it. I'm like, this is what they did now. And he's like, wow, that's unfair. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And then at the end of it, it's like, damn, that's a good book.
So
Son of a bitch got
overall,
me.
you ended up liking it?
Yeah, but I'm like mad about it. I want to go read the other 3. Because there's one from David's perspective, and then how do you say the name Rhys?
Reese.
Reese. There's one from Reese's perspective, and then one from Moira's perspective. Reese and Moira are married. David is the ex-boyfriend of Reese, and at the end of it, they're in this like not quite throuple. This is a spoiler, by the way. Not quite throuple, but like they've grown together.
Back there waving at me.
Good. Yeah, they've grown together, and like it's not sorted. They have problems, magical problems that still need to be fixed, which I assume is almost going to take them all the way through all books. But I'm like, oh.
I wonder if that's why. Maybe setting up the relationship in the first book was more important than setting up the plot for the rest of the series, if that plot's going to carry through.
I would agree. I need to read them now. Damn it.
Well, you have choices.
I do have choices. But yeah.
Okay, do you want to talk about the one that I finished and my thoughts, or do you want me to get my bitching out of the way first?
Get the bitching out of the way.
Okay, 19 Claws and a Blackbird. I don't know if I want to read Tenders the Flesh now because it's a collection of short stories, right? I read 10 pages, which was 3 stories. First story was about this woman who's standing on her back patio, and a body falls out of the fucking sky. Guy decided to commit suicide and jumped off his balcony and landed on hers.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So that's story number one. It's her figuring out that's what happened. And then like the cops showing up and neighbors being like, crazy and all that. And that was like 4 pages. The third story was a woman who gets in the back of a taxi and then she's thinking about like her surroundings in the taxi, and like she sees the guy's picture and she's thinking, well, he's trying to present himself in such a way, and somehow comes to the conclusion bro's a serial killer. I couldn't follow that logical leap, but she did. And she gets out of the car at the end, goes to pay her fare, and sees validation that she is right. The story is called like Umberto's boxes or something like that. And it's boxes where he keeps fingernail clippings from his. Yeah.
Oh.
And she sees that and she leans in at the end and she's like, take me with you and show me what you do. And I'm like, okay, are you volunteering to be a serial killer or to be his next victim? Because this could go either way.
I think she needs to see a psychologist.
Neither of those were the reason I DNF'd the book, though.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So the second story, which was maybe a page and 2/3, maybe 2-ish full pages, was called The Rabbit. And it starts out with this prepubescent girl talking to her best friend in the bathroom at school, telling her she has a rabbit between her legs. I should have put the book down there, but no, I couldn't. Because the 2 girls then go back to class and her friend tells their teacher, who is male, that there's a rabbit growing between her friend's legs. And he's like, oh, well, let's go talk about this. Takes her into the bathroom, starts doing things he shouldn't be doing. And eventually is like, you're so pretty. Show me the rabbit. So she does. And it is a rabbit and it bites him. But I cannot deal with that kind of shit. Just no, I'm done. And I don't know if I want to read anything else by the author now, because it was.
You don't want any of that.
No.
If it can be written once,
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to really like the premise of the book and then be halfway through and something like that comes in and just kills it for me.
I think there's plenty of other things to read.
I agree.
I
took that book with me to the library book sale and gave it to the little old lady there. I was like, here, you can sell this to somebody. Like, I really don't want someone to buy it because.
No.
But at the same time, I don't want it in my house anymore.
Right? No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I really liked Shroud. I'm just going to,
Go on back to that one.
I did. I really liked it, but I finally figured out what bothers me about his writing. And I don't think it's a him problem. I think it's a me problem.
Okay.
He has a lot of sentence fragments.
Can you hear Treason, by the way?
I can a little bit, but not what he's saying. Just,
Close his door. He's playing games.
Nah, he's good. Yeah, so he has set like every third or fourth sentence is a sentence fragment. And the English teacher part of my brain just cannot get past that.
And the part of me that failed freshman English and had to retake it, even I understand that. So no.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the one thing that I always tell my students is, there are rules, but then there are also places where you can break them. And that's fine. But this doesn't read as so much as someone knowing what they're doing and when to break those rules as it does someone who just doesn't know how to write. And I'm not saying that his writing is bad. I'm not saying that his stories aren't good or his characterization isn't good. It's all great. I'm just saying that for me, reading that many sentence fragments and not getting my pen out to be like, okay, this you need to fix, and blah blah blah.
If it bumps you into
that's a
teacher
problem.
mode,
It bumps me into teacher mode. But I really liked it. I really liked the book. The planet was so interesting, and I spent he had 10 pages left, and the person who I was sure was going to die still wasn't dead yet. I was like, when the fuck are you going to kill this person off? The last page of the last chapter, not the last page of the book, because there was an epilogue that was like 2 pages long, told from the other person's perspective that was down on the planet. But yeah, like literally the last page of the final chapter was her going back down to the planet voluntarily, alone, knowing that she was going to die, and leaving the other person, that the other girl that was down there with her, who they had both fallen in love with each other, but because of the way that like the suspended animation and stuff works, they had no guarantees that they would ever see each other again. So there was no intimacy or anything like that beyond they knew each other really, really well by the end of their, I don't know, like month or something on the planet. Yeah.
But good.
I recommend it. It was good. I'm still debating what I want to give it stars wise.
Yeah, me too. So I'm like, I would recommend it. I think overall it was a good read, but like go into it with no expectations, and I'm sure it would be a better ride. And I've learned my lesson, and I will wipe my brain before I read 2.
Yeah, and same thing for Trout. Or for Trout?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's been the last week and a half has just been kind of wild. It's been back to back, all kinds of stuff. And it all started when I got back from therapy, not this past week, but the week before, and like walked into the building and all the fucking lights went out across campus. And it's just been ever since then, just a little bit weird.
Maybe something's in retrograde. Why did I just say that like a toddler? Retrograde.
Retrograde. Same reason I said Shroud instead of Shroud. Totally recommend Shroud. And if you are not an English teacher, the sentence fragments shouldn't bother you like they did.
Yeah. I have a much easier time reading things than you do.
Mercury is not in retrograde, so it's not that. Why? That doesn't happen until... Oh, wait. It just ended on the 23rd.
Oh, okay.
So we're coming out of retrograde. Yeah, hopefully I'll be fine now.
Well, I think we can call episode 4 complete.
Yep.
Clapperboard.